for once, that wasn't tea. That was whiskey. And I'm gonna need every single drop of that. Now, I've had this question for a while. But since of recent events like the documentary, The Problem with Apu.
Unacceptable! Acceptable. What? Unacceptable! Unacceptable!
I can't watch this anymore.
And then him being removed. I think it's a good time to attempt to answer that. So, with my knowledge of such forms of entertainment as films, comics, video games, social media, and TV, I will now attempt to answer. Is mainstream entertainment too PC? Now, obviously I'm going to have to leave some disclaimers before I jump into this. Disclaimer number 1, this isn't an attack on any sort of race or minority of any kind. This is just my preference of, which I think is okay and which I think is not okay. Obviously, I have no right to tell anybody of any kind of race what they should be offended by and which they shouldn't be offended by. But I do have the right to, say if I think it's that justified. And number 2, I'm obviously not an expert in all forms of media, like for example, news, music, and books. Mainly because I think news is the most miserable thing humanity has ever created.
Good evening, I'm Ken Bastida. Dana is off tonight. He was and then set on fire while celebrating his birthday.
And music, all I really know about music nowadays is that Taylor Swift uses autotune and is terrible, and nearly every song sounds the same. And with books, I only think I've read 4 books in my lifetime. You see them, Meg, Mice of Men, I think some of Ready Player One, and Christmas Carol. I would like to get into books more, but unfortunately I do not have the patience to read a 100-page novel. Maybe someday Audible will help me out on that. Or maybe they won't, I don't know. And number 3, this is my personal opinion. You do not have to agree with me by any means. I'm just throwing my opinion out there, which nobody asked for. And without any further ado, let's begin. Now, with comics, it's kind of a mixed bag. For example, DC's been pretty clean with any demographic, but with Border Town, it's kind of a hot mess. Because in the story, demons possess white people because only white people can be racist. IDW publishing was fine, now it's terrible, but I've heard good things recently. And Made a Comic was basically sole purpose of you buying it is because it stars a woman. Groundbreaking stuff, I know. But there's one bit of comic history I would like to discuss. And by history I mean 2 years ago. When Marvel was revamping all their heroes to, different minorities. And it was mixed. They made 4 or 5 if you count Spider-Gwen. What makes sense, stand out, and play off other characters. They made 3 what are just okay. They're only really any good when other people are talking about them. And then there's... It technically started off with the Black Spider-Man Miles, but it really kicked off with Kamala Khan, the Muslim Ms. Marvel. The comic was a smash hit, and I can't exactly disagree with it, since she did become one of my favourite superheroes. Then they made the Hispanic Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes, who is my new favourite Marvel hero. And his story wasn't just epic and emotional, it was, if I do say so myself, metal! But really, it is a good book. Like, you should go buy it. But then they did it again and again and again and again.
Make it stop! Damn it, Wade!
It soon became apparent that they were just selling these characters on their nationality and not how good of a character they are. My case and point, totally awesome Hulk. Oh god, I feel sick just by saying that name. Ugh. Amadeus Cho, the Asian Hulk, is an egotistical, self-centered, and just all-around bad person. Like, he bullies like a kid in his stories, and this is a character what we're meant to root for, really? But yeah, you're meant to like him, right? He's Asian. He's Asian, yeah? Yeah, he's Asian. That makes all the stuff what we make him do okay. Because he's Asian. Did we mention he's Asian? Buy our books. And now they've kind of went back to normal, while keeping Kamala Khan and Robbie Reyes. Count adding Ghost Rider and She-Hulk to the team, but why would you want one of the most powerful beings in the universe on your team? And She-Hulk's understandable since it's the state of Bruce Banner in the Immortal Hulk. He's kind of a, oh.
You killed him and now he's dead! If you're black
Just to clarify, when I put Ghostbusters 2016 on my best films of 2016 list, that was a joke, because I gave no context on why I thought it was good. I probably should have made that more clear. I'm sorry. But if you want examples of films being PC, look at every single bad film in the last 10 years. I mean, there's like a few good ones and a few okay ones. Like, for example, I personally like The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. And, you know, Ghostbusters 2016 does have its good moments. I will agree that the worst part of those films is when the movie maker just goes, you see, they're a different race. And that's why it's groundbreaking.
Please clap.
And that's not even getting into the bad films. The bad movies aren't even bothering to make the story good. They're just relying on the actress or actor's race and ethnicity to sell the film. A great example of this is Transformers: The Last Knight. Besides being a terrible film for Transformers fans and film fans, this was now trying to push a pro-feminist message. Hey, remember that one clip from the first Transformers film?
Your distributor cap's a little loose.
How'd you know that?
We're not just doing this for money. We're doing it for a shitload of money.
Really progressive, Michael Bay. You know, not at all doing this for any kind of monetary gain. By any means. No, sirree, only Michael Bay's the purest of heart.
Throwing those on us?
Yeah, no, then I'm gonna slap your ass with this dowel.
But I do see a storytelling problem as well. Like, the common idea is, you got this male character. Now she is a woman. Which can work in some notable ways. But then you've got this kind of character whiplash, where you have the urge to like write some line like, "Don't be such a gun." Huh. If you want a video that goes more in detail to this, I recommend Overly Sarcastic Productions video on strong female characters. Red, the little doodle on the chair, did a very good job of displaying her points, and, you know, I think, you know, she's really good. You should check her out. Well, I don't see it that often in video games. I mean, you could count Metroid, Tomb Raider, or the reboot Tomb Raider series, but you know, the original Tomb Raider and the original Metroid had a female protagonist when it was needed, and the reboot is a reboot, so they're going to need a female protagonist. The only three that really come to mind is the controversy around Tracer's ass pose, The Last of Us 2, and Battlefield 5. I remember commenting on a Battlefield 5 video saying that I think that it was going to be better. It wasn't, and I should have finished that video for more information. Big mistake. Alright, let's start off with Overwatch. So when the demo of the game first came out, yeah, not even the full game, Tracer had this pose. Obviously, feminists did not agree with this and started sending threats. Others disagree, and you know what? Guess what happened next? Did they come to some kind of conclusion in which nobody's mum was called gay?
I know it's just dangling out the tip of your tongue. Let me hear it just once, please.
Superman will never.
Wrong!
A war on the internet broke out where many mums were called gay and many dads called lesbian, prompting Blizzard to just change the skin, but for some reason still keeping the ass.
What?
Moving on, some more controversy popped up when The Last of Us 2 trailer ended in a lesbian kiss. Which, you know, the character, as far as I know, has always been a lesbian, but, you know, you didn't need to, like, advertise it for your game because you're making a sequel to what many people consider the best game of all time. And plus, in my opinion, you should have, like, shown that scene in the game so it's more of a powerful moment. But, you know, it's not as bad as, say, Battlefield 5's. So the game where I accidentally defend without watching the full video, never do that ever, it made a female protagonist, nothing too big, but when the fans went, well, if you don't mind us asking, a female protagonist with a robot arm in World War II isn't exactly accurate, so... And how did EA respond? Well, possible buyer. What I have to say about your query is... Sexist man-child, why don't you go back to your mother's basement?
Great job.
I don't think I have to tell you why this is bad. Well, there isn't exactly that much in the way of TV. I mean, Doctor turned into a woman, but the writing on the last season was so bad that I don't think anybody cares. Sure, I could scratch the surface a bit and, like, talk about Steven Universe and Adventure Time and Voltron. But these shows are trying to promote sexuality, so I can't give it too much crap on that. Because sexuality is still a problem in cartoons and TV shows in general. Sure, maybe in the near future it will become, you know, overused and kind of pandering, but we're not there yet, so, you know, give it a rest. But I am going to talk about the problem with Apu documentary. The problem with Apu, where a supposed comedian tries to tell everybody why they shouldn't like a joke in a cartoon show. The points were nearly completely unjustified, and he does a get out of jail free card by saying, well, when I was younger, somebody called me Apu, so instead of blaming the bully, I'm going to blame the cartoon. You know, that's completely justified, because when I got called bowling ball because of how round my head is, yeah, I raged war on bowling. You know, I didn't blame the bullies at all. No. Well, They didn't do anything wrong. It was Bowling for existing what did something wrong. He also attacks the white voice actor for voicing an Indian character, saying that he's practically doing blackface. Does that mean I could call Bart's voice actress sexist? Brandon Rogers does a skit on British people. I don't get upset. I think it's funny.
What is it, darling?
I believe they're lesbians. Well, we're British, you see, and where we're from, lesbians don't exist.
Neither does toothpaste.
Or sunshine.
Or good food.
Or sobriety. Yeah.
And with a little cherry on top, making fun of American culture while demanding his culture be appropriated. Because, you know, this rule doesn't apply to Americans. It's not like equality means everybody. But these people continuously ask for diversity. And this isn't diversity, having the group what represents you only be in the show. Because, yes, there are Indians what prefer to keep their religion under wraps and just be their own person. But there are some Indians what, you know, are proud of their religion and just show it off. And now you're isolating them. Great job. So yeah, the man who charged the fight to remove Apu is a brain dead.
What the fuck?
Now, social media. That is exactly sliced down the middle. That's not the middle. There we go. Sure, there's diversity in the groups, like the ones what go, oh yeah, I agree with that, but you know, it's not that big. And the others are... But the ones fighting against the SJWs are clearly the best. Like, I can list a few good ones on, you know, fighting against SJWs. Like, for example... Just a Robot, that's his actual name. Pyrocynical sometimes.
This week's word is...
Reproduction sometimes. Hunter Alo, Alo, A1, oh no. The Dishonored Wolf, if he's even going to be called that anymore. Sorry about what you went through. You didn't deserve that by any means. Hope you get better soon. Filthy Frank and iDubbbz, of course. Now, there are some good SJW YouTubers. Like, for example... Do they exist? No. No? Alright. Don't exist. But at this minute, I'm gonna go through the lightning round. Swear to God, if I see in the comments, Thor is the god of thunder, not lightning, I'm going to gut them. Where I just list off a few notable ones. Milo, however you pronounce his last name, is a YouTuber who says it's okay for black people to be racist to white people because all white people are racist anyway. It Stuff is a channel trying to teach children about their sexuality and gender identification. Because it worked so well when trained professionals did it.
My daughter went home crying, shaking, so afraid that she could turn into a boy.
The Root channel has a show called Judge of Character, hosted by Daniela Young, who's a racist black girl who can't take criticism and says, anybody who criticizes me is racist.
White person made a video like this, it would be considered racist, but this happens.
Your hairstyle is cultural appropriation.
First of all.
This lady is disgusting and racist. I hope this is just satire.
Oh my God, look what they're doing. They're treating me like a black person.
Wait.
Huh. I must have missed the comment what at all pointed out your race. And last but not least, somebody got banned from YouTube for punching a feminist in Red Dead Redemption 2. I shall not show the footage because I won't be so fortunate to get back onto YouTube. Okay, lightning round or thunder round, shut up, is over. What?
This did not just happen.
But this doesn't just end with YouTube. It goes with Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I don't know. I don't use most of those things. I'm getting to the Twitter and Facebook, god damn it. The most notable example of one is when somebody tried to do this art challenge of drawing a female character, but saying that it's a female in personality alone, like all those male characters. Besides the fact that he's trying to say feminine features are kind of bad, which is neither. Somebody may like having feminine features, somebody may not. It's all down to personal preference. But also the fact that he's saying that all dude characters are designed as dudes through their personality? Are you sure? By its personality alone, can you tell what gender this is? No? Okay. How about this? Personality alone. Or this? Personality alone. This? Personality alone. Or this? Personality alone. You see where I'm getting at here?
Oh, I know what you mean.
Alright, this was a quick one what I've added in after everything else in this video was already done. And somebody insulted Stan Lee after he's died, so he can't defend himself, which was calling him racist, homophobic, and a sex offender, which with research can be disproven, because Stan Lee made like Black Panther and the X-Men, which were both like allegories for prejudice. He made the first gay superhero, and the sexual assault allegations was like a fraud to get money out of him. So I hope this person either apologizes, deletes the tweet, or just learns a lesson in general, because this is disgusting. But there's a reason why I put this bit on my video. Well, besides the fact that I could put it on my, main channel and get more views. I mean, what? I didn't say that. Is that its audience has a big impact on the entertainment industry. The entertainment industry is a byproduct of what people want. Like a good example for this was when Michael Bay and some other guy was trying to make a Ninja Turtles remake. But instead of being mutant turtles, they were aliens? Am I reading that right? But due to fan outcry, we instead didn't get this. We got Shrek.
No, whoa, chill. It's just a mask. See? Don't freak out.
In conclusion, is mainstream entertainment too PC? Not necessarily. Mainstream entertainment is the product of what people want. Do I think some of its audience is too PC? Yes, absolutely. Because, well, they are fighting for diversity, which is great. You get more Indian characters, that's great. You get more Chinese characters, that's also great. More women, fine. But in those groups, there are more groups. It's like cells and atoms. There's more and more circles. There's some groups what like to wear their religion, some that don't. And when somebody sees that on TV, they think it's racist, which is not right. That's not diversity. Some of them even go beyond that and go into reverse racism. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Reverse racism doesn't exist because it's normal racism. Because they think, well, some of them think that all white people are racist, which in itself is racist. Something needs to change. How we view diversity needs to change. Just like how everything needs to change, like a director, a YouTuber's content, how people respond to something. We need change this. We need to involve the groups within those groups and actually be diverse. Oh yeah, all reviews like this need to end in a montage where it's relating to the topic, what they were talking about. Or hold on one sec.
Let's go in the garden. You'll find something waiting right there where you left it, lying upside down. When you finally find it, you'll see how it's fading. The underside is lighter when you turn it around. Everything stays right where you left it. Everything stays, but it still changes ever so slightly, daily and nightly, in little ways when everything stays.
Attention, all Fortnite. I'm not doing that. Hey, thanks for watching to the end of this video. Now, I need your criticism more than ever, since I'm hoping to make this like a yearly thing. Now, just type in the comments below anything what you liked or anything what you disliked. And yeah, I hope to see you like very soon. And I'll see you later, my zombie slayers.